Ladies and gentlemen, stop what you're doing right now. This is Britain now, and we've got a bombshell that just exploded in Westminster 1 minute ago. Yes, you heard that right. Nigel Farage absolutely shattered Keir Starmer in the House of Commons. 3 minutes. That's all it took to change UK politics forever. The Prime Minister lost it. He screamed. He pointed. He got ejected like a common troublemaker. Reform UK is rising. Labour is crumbling, and the elites are in panic mode. If you hate the establishment betrayal on immigration and Brexit, stick around. This is the truth the BBC won't show you. Hit that like button now if you're ready for the full exposé. All right, patriots, buckle up because we're diving headfirst into the epic meltdown that rocked Westminster to its core. It's a typical Wednesday, but nothing about this feels ordinary. The green benches are jammed with 650 MPs in a space built for 400, body heat rising, air conditioning struggling. To the casual viewer at home, or the journalists crammed in the gallery, it looks like just another PMQs session. But zoom in closer. The tension's electric, the atmosphere thick like a storm about to break. This isn't Parliament. It's a gladiatorial pit, primed for the first strike. Enter Prime Minister Keir Starmer to a thunderous cheer from his Labour backbenchers, a rehearsed roar meant to scream power. He waves confidently, buttons his jacket, shares a quick laugh with Deputy Angela Rayner. Why not? With his landslide majority, he feels invincible. He adjusts his glasses, flips open his folder of scripted responses, and leans back like a king on his throne, unaware, of course, that his ship is already sinking. Across the way, the Conservatives are buzzing under Rishi Sunak, ready to heckle, but the true danger lurks in the shadows. Nigel Farage, Reform UK's firebrand leader, perched alone on the far right. No rowdiness from him, just icy stillness. While others fiddle with phones or notes, Farage stares laser-focused at Starmer's head. On his lap, not a mess of papers, but one slim blue folder hiding a Brussels bombshell. A classified document on a shady migration deal, buried where no one was supposed to find it. Noon strikes. Speaker Lindsay Hoyle booms order. The chatter dies to a murmur. Standard questions roll in. NHS wait times, local buses, boring, safe. Starmer delivers his lines flawlessly, sips water, glances at his watch. Half an hour to number 10 lunch. He's easing up. Fatal error. Suddenly, the speaker nods to the corner. I call the honourable member for Clacton, Nigel Farage. Instant shift. The room's oxygen vanishes. Labour groans in unison, bracing for a woke-bashing tirade. Starmer eye rolls dramatically, prepping a clever quip, but Farage rises deliberately, buttons his suit like a duelist, grabs the folder, no crowd-pleasing theatrics. He locks eyes with Starmer. Silence falls, heavy and ominous, the hush before disaster. Farage's voice cuts through, not booming but razor-sharp. The Prime Minister's spent 6 months touring Britain, claiming he's fixed immigration. Boats halted, borders locked. He pauses, letting the words suffocate the air. Starmer's grin stiffens. He leans to whisper to Rayner, feigning nonchalance. But it's crumbling. Words are cheap, Prime Minister, Farage presses, unblinking. Facts, stubborn. Yesterday alone, 800 crossed to Kent. Labour jeers. Old news, Nigel. They think it's routine. Wrong. It's the lure. Farage lifts the folder, opens it with theatrical slowness. Paper rustles over mics. Not yesterday. Last Tuesday. Starmer halts, mid-reach for water. Frozen. Cameras zoom in. He knows the secret's out. From the sheet. Private minutes. Your Chief of Staff and EU Commission. Deal. 100,000 migrants yearly for cheese tariff cuts. Gasps explode from Tories. Speakers stunned. Farage thunders. When you vowed control, lying then or now. Boom. Grenade lobbed. Eyes on Starmer, clutching the box, knuckles bone white. The trap snaps shut. And here's where the fireworks truly ignite, folks. Starmer's world unravels in real time. Protocol be damned. He doesn't wait for the speaker's nod. He catapults from his seat like it's electrified, scattering his precious notes across the floor in a frantic flurry. No more Mr. Cool Prosecutor. His voice shrills high and brittle. How dare he? Cracking on the syllables, he abandons the mic, storming into the open aisle, face blooming a furious crimson, neck veins throbbing like live wires. He jabs a trembling finger straight at Farage, a cardinal sin in parliamentary etiquette. How dare this man lecture us on integrity? The House is no stranger to drama, but this raw, unfiltered fury. Starmer's not debating, he's detonating. We're mopping up your disaster, he bellows, finger still accusing. You and your lot wrecked Britain for 14 years, sowing hate, division, and now you peddle lies. Speaker Hoyle cuts in sharp. Prime Minister, address the chair. But Starmer's blind with rage, ignoring the plea. He advances, looking primed for a brawl, away from his bench's safety. You're poison in our democracy, he thunders, voice ricocheting off the panelled walls. Shame on you. No fixes, just venom. Conspiracies. A disgrace to this office. Labour's elite? Petrified statues. Angela Rayner averts her gaze to the floor, jaw locked. David Lammy gapes, speechless. Their captains torpedoing the ship, and their helpless spectators. Farage stands unmoved, a faint, almost sympathetic smirk curling his lip. Gasoline on Starmer's inferno. Wipe that smug look off. Starmer shrieks, pointing wildly again, hands quaking. I'm the elected Prime Minister. You're a sideshow, a distraction. Now Hoyle rises, authority challenged. Prime Minister, resume your seat. Starmer wheels on him. The ultimate blunder. Mr. Speaker, you're enabling this hijack, letting him taint our democracy while you do zilch. The collective gasp sucks the air dry. Attacking the Speaker? That's assaulting the institution itself. Hoyle's warmth evaporates. He towers. You've defied the chair's order. Understanding Order 43, I command the Prime Minister to exit for the session. Silence descends like a shroud. Heavy, absolute. No sitting PM has ever been banished in Britain's storied democracy. Starmer blinks, colour draining to ashen pallor. You can't mean it, he murmurs, Mike barely catching the whisper. Hoyle's icy, dead serious. Sergeant-at-Arms, remove him. The sergeant advances, anachronistic in tails and sword, bows curtly, gestures to the doors. No force needed. The implications steel. Starmer scans desperately for allies. Rayner, floor staring. Rachel Reeves, scribbling evasion. Backbenchers, a mute fortress of averted eyes, self-preserving from the fallout. Isolation hits like ice. Power stripped, he's just a ranting suit. Composure fragments as he adjusts his tie on autopilot, leaves the debris, and begins the interminable trek out. The silence shatters after Starmer's humiliating exit, not with roars of victory, but a wave of nervous, chaotic laughter that echoes through the chamber. Opposition MPs are in stitches, Scottish nationalists chuckling, and even some Labour backbenchers bury their faces to hide smirks. It's not joy. It's the sound of a government teetering on the edge. Farage, still, commanding the floor like a general after battle. He pivots slowly, eyes piercing Angela Rayner, the deputy PM, now the highest-ranking suit left. Mr. Speaker, he drawls with mocking silk. Since the Prime Minister has excused himself from his duties, perhaps the deputy can enlighten us. Does she endorse his tantrum, or would she prefer to join him in the hallway? Ouch. Rayner freezes like a statue. No notes, no backup, no words. The front bench is a ghost town. Dispatch box abandoned. a gaping power void at the core of British democracy. Labour's machine, stalled, exposed, humiliated. But that's just the start. Beyond Westminster's stone walls, the digital inferno erupts. At 12:29 p.m. sharp, Sky News blasts the red banner, breaking. PM ejected from Commons. Chaos unfolds live. On X, formerly Twitter, number PM out skyrockets to UK trend numero uno in under 30 seconds. The viral clip, Starmer's screeching, "How dare you?" rips across feeds, clocking 1 million views in 10 minutes flat, ballooning to 5 million by the hour's end. Memes flood the timeline like a tsunami. Starmer's flushed face, photoshopped onto raging toddlers, erupting volcanoes, even crying memes from classic viral hits. The net doesn't forgive. It destroys. Weak leader cracks under pressure. Users pile on. His carefully crafted authority, shredded, pixel by pixel, into digital dust. Down at Labour HQ, it's doomsday. Phones explode with frantic donors. Has Starmer lost his mind? Nervous breakdown? Press teams huddle in tears. Strategy chiefs loop the footage endlessly, muttering, "No PR wizardry fixes this mess." Spin? Dead on arrival. Meanwhile, in the parliamentary lobby, journos swarm like sharks sensing blood. But the apex predator emerges unscathed. Nigel Farage, flanked by Reform Lieutenants Richard Tice and Lee Anderson. He pauses defiantly, lights a cigarette. Screw the nanny state image. Takes a slow drag. Exhales rebellion. Strides to College Green, that infamous grassy battlefield opposite Parliament, now a media mosh pit. CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, Fox, they're all elbowing for position. Mics thrust forward. Farage owns the moment, leaning in with pitch-perfect poise. What we saw wasn't mere anger. It was a collapse of authority, of trust, of the self-restraint needed to steer a nuclear-armed nation. Cameras flash as he pauses. He could have countered with facts from this folder. He taps the blue dossier, but opted for fury and insults. If a simple question from me unravels him, how does he face down Putin or Xi? That wolfish grin flashes. Reporters shout, calling for resignation. Farage chuckles. No need. The British people witnessed it raw. A PM booted from his own house? Unforgettable. The clock's ticking. It's game over. Boom. Narrative locked in before Labour can even draft a tweet. Their belated press release, buried in the noise. The elites are scrambling, but the people's verdict is in. Starmer's exposed, reforms ascending. Fast forward 24 hours, and the fallout is nuclear. The British press, always savage, feasts on the carcass. Front pages scream betrayal. The Sun blasts, kicked out Keir. In bold red, the Daily Mail roars, Starmer's meltdown exposed. Even the left-leaning Guardian, usually a Labour lapdog, hedges with a moment of madness, PM's authority shattered. Starmer finally crawls out of hiding, delivering a stiff, scripted statement from Downing Street. "I apologize for my passion," he mumbles, claiming he was defending the honor of the House. But nobody's buying it. His eyes, sunken, haunted, like a man who knows the game's up. The invincible aura from his landslide victory vaporized in one chaotic afternoon. Then the polls hit like a guillotine on Sunday. Brutal numbers that seal the deal. Labour plummets 6 points overnight. Reform UK surges 4, stealing the spotlight. Conservatives flatline, irrelevant. In the red wall heartlands, those northern seats Starmer clawed from the Tories. Reform rockets to second place for the first time ever. Voters aren't mincing words. A steelworker in Hartlepool tells the BBC, if he cracks under a simple question from Farage, he'll shatter in a real crisis. We need a fighter who punches back, not a screamer Who loses his cool? Nigel Farage. He's not wasting a second. Hitting the road on a nationwide tour, blasting that ejection clip on massive rally screens to roaring crowds. The narrative flips hard. Suddenly, the far-right label slides off reform, like water off a duck, while the centre-left Prime Minister looks utterly unhinged. Inside Labour's smoke-filled rooms, the knives are out. Whispers of a leadership coup grow to shouts. Names like West Streeting and Andy Burnham floated as sharks circle the wounded captain. Starmer, holed up in number 10, he's a prisoner of his own making, his historic majority fracturing like cheap glass. This isn't just a blip, folks. It's the exposé of a rotten system. Anger boiling over, divisions ripping wide, promises on immigration and Brexit shattered into lies. That Brussels deal Farage unearthed? 100,000 migrants a year swapped for cheese tariffs? Pure elite betrayal, spitting on taking back control. British pride? Eroded by Labour's endless scandals, from unchecked boat crossings to ignoring grooming gangs while pushing net zero nonsense that bankrupts families. Reform UK's the antidote, the true voice of the people, smashing the establishment stranglehold. And globally, echoes from across the pond. Trump gives a thumbs-up nod, JD Vance fires off supportive tweets, inspiring UK Conservatives to fight harder. Immigration chaos, energy rip-offs, national identity under siege, reform charges in where cowards fear to tread. This earthquake in Westminster, it's birthing a tsunami that could sweep it all away. Will Starmer limp through the year, or get the boot? Farage storming number 10, or total political Armageddon for the UK? The old order's crumbling, and the people's revolution is just revving up. Folks, those 3 minutes shattered everything. Farage broke Starmer, exposed the elite rot. Reform UK's the future. Populist, unapologetic. Labour's betrayal on borders. Economy, over. The people are waking up. What do you think? Resignation or survival? Is reform Britain's saviour? Drop predictions in comments now. Smash that like if this blew your mind. You won't see it on mainstream media. Subscribe for more exposés. Hit the bell. Please click super thanks to support the channel. Motivation and funds for good content. Next video, Farage's next bombshell on Labour's energy betrayal. Stay tuned. Britain Now. Truth Unleashed.